Hello Leo, and welcome to your March 2019 Lenormand reading. I'm Jade with yesYesYes, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for all of your likes and your shares and your subscribes, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're going to do a Lenormand spread. We're using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. It's different than Tarot. We have 36 cards. I'm going to lay all 36 cards out in what's called the Grand Tableau. And I can see health, I can see finances, love, and even job stuff as well. So it just kind of depends on how the cards lay out. We'll look at the whole thing. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising. Check the other videos if it's not totally resonating. These are the most accurate readings I give. And that happens because I'm doing personal readings. So if there's some of this, oh yeah, I'm house and dog sitting, so we might have some barkiness. That's Kenji in the background. Hi, Kenji. So what was I saying? Oh, so with the I think I was talking about the resonance. Yeah. So if it's if I'm doing a personal reading, it resonates specifically to you, but if it's a general read, then some parts will, some parts won't. Okay. So first of all, I want to give you a card from the Gabby Bernstein deck, just as an overall, because I love these cards. They're so interesting. So let's see what Gabby Bernstein says for you, Leo. When I'm in alignment with love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. So hopefully you can see all that. All right, so we are looking to align ourselves with the love of the universe so that we can have always feeling peaceful. Okay, that's good news. All right, let's see what Mike Dooley's deck says. We get an overall for Leo. Okay, they're so thick sometimes. I've got a lot of cards jumping around today, even though this is not about, it's not a tarot reading, so we're not jumping. Okay, let's see. Sometimes the good is hidden. Interesting. Sometimes the good is hidden. Let's see. Kenji. I don't even know what he's barking about. He doesn't normally bark like that. So we're going to move forward here. I've pre-shuffled the deck, and I'm going to see what I mean about the cards jumping. It's not, it doesn't read this way, but that's just today. So let's see what's going on for Leo and where this all begins. Where does this story begin for Leo? There's our beginning card. All right. So I'm going to lay the cards out and we'll go from there. So we have the bear, the star, the cross, the stork, the scythe, the mountain, the moon, and the house. Next line is the anchor, the coffin, the fish, and there's the feminine, the mice, the dog, the clover, and the garden. There's our masculine, and the ring, the tower, the bouquet, the snake and the tree, the clouds, and the child. Interesting. Okay, there's the heart and the rider, the book, and the birds. That's the path, the lily, the ship, and the fox. And then our final four are the letter, the sun, the key, and the whip. Interesting. So we're beginning with the bear and we're ending with the fox here. Interesting. So the bear is a card of authority and the fox is a card of ingenuity. So you might start this month off working for another and you end up this month working for yourself, or you're the boss. So maybe there's a promotion that comes. Very interesting, Leo. All right, I also want to just count and see if any of the cards are in their own, if they're in their own house. So just give me a moment. we have two cards in their own houses. So the Tower is in its own house, and the Tower is a card of organization, higher learning, corporation even, so something larger than life, a larger vision. So what this is telling us is just to be aware of whatever this, the overall view is, and that we want to take precautions. We want to make sure that we're overseeing what is potentially out there for us, okay? So just be aware, not beware, just be aware, all right? And then we have the Lilies. And the Lily is a card of sensuality and legacy, but it's also a card of antiquity, okay? And so the Lily is giving us, we're talking about like resurrection and revival, something that's been around for a while and now it's coming back to life. So not sure, we'll see what that's also about too. So interesting that those two cards are in their houses. All right, so we're going to start moving forward here. Oh, I didn't forget to mention the masculine. Here is your present line, and all of this is the future. Feminine, here is your present line. This is the future, and this is your past. Okay, so we have authoritative role, okay? The Bear is about maternal or paternal roles, but it also can be bosses. And with the stars being here, and actually with the cross here, it's telling me that there is some type of burden where there's a lot of energy being utilized, perhaps you might be giving a lot of energy to this type of person, to an authority. They might be burning themselves up as well, and that's becoming a burden to you because you might have to pick up where their energy is being left off. So if your boss is falling short and you are having to pick up their weight, that might be happening. Or perhaps they're demanding a lot of you and you're having to pick up that extra weight, pick up that extra energy to keep moving the projects forward. So just right now, that's what's happening to the masculine. This might have just happened for the feminine. And moving forward here, we have some kind of change that happens, and it's actually quickening our road, our challenging road ahead. And it's bringing us to more of a place of ease and comfort and stability, and emotional ease and comfort and stability. So this might feel really crazy. Like when work is crazy, it's hard to feel good in general because we spend so much time at work, because we get wrapped up with work being a representation of who we are. So what I'm seeing here is that in the future, specifically for the feminine, the very near future, further for the masculine, is that there will be a change. It normally is going to be it's a long road. It's a challenging road, but with the scythe being here, it's actually cutting it so that it's quicker. Okay, so we're quickening that challenge to get to an emotionally secure place, and I like that. So something's going to happen where you have to make that change, and it's going to bring you to a better place, a better emotional place. And again, it might be that you get the promotion, that you start working for yourself and you leave this job. What's going on underneath here is that you might be making a new choice. It might be something that the community is involved in. Maybe you get a new job offer through a community involvement like LinkedIn or something like that, or on Facebook. So that kind of thing might come forward. All right. What else we have here? Next line. There was some stability, financial stability that had kind of crumbled for the feminine in the near past. Okay, there was a change that happened. In masculines, this might be what's coming up for you here, is that there's a change to this financial security, and there's a little bit of anxiety about it. Because of this change. So I'm sensing that this is a job change, that the job might have been, sorry, I'm still trying to make sure that Kenji's not barking at us. So I'm feeling like there was an issue with the job, an issue with specifically this boss. And you have to make a choice to get to a better place where you will be emotionally secure and not maybe, maybe your boss is blaming a lot of things on you, depending on you way more than what's, that's fair. Um, that you might be blamed for things that are actually not your fault. So there's some type of stress that's happening with the job that you're having to change, and it's good because it looks like things are going to look better for you. But right now, because of the financial change of that, it's also causing an additional stress. So ultimately, that's going to level out. But the question is, you're at this place of, okay, do I work the job and feel emotionally and energetically exhausted, or do I change the job and stress out about money for the time being? And I'm feeling like you're going to change something up, even though that is going to be a financial stress. Okay. Now there's a loyalty here, some friends, a friendship, and it might be a friendship. Maybe it's like a friend that you've had for a very long time, like a childhood friend, or it could be a family member who is, one of your closest friends. But you're going to get some support there, and there maybe you have to move back in with them. Maybe that's the financial, or excuse me, the emotional security. Maybe you have to move in with this family member who's going to help you in the near future, who's going to help you get to a place that's more grounded, more supported, but definitely a lot sweeter than this past situation, this issue that you're working from. Now, masculine specifically, the masculine, you might be married. Okay, so this might be for masculines who are in marriage, who did the whole thing, where you went to the courthouse, you did the whole thing. There is love here. So I'm seeing that. Now, feminine, if you're wondering, wait a second, what about me? It might be that your masculine is in a marriage, okay? Maybe you're the person that you've been looking towards, you've been thinking of, is in a marriage. Now, what I am seeing here is, while there is some blessings, right? There are some really good news, some success that's been, that's been a part of it. There is this snake that's kind of here, and I feel like the snake is something that is kind of shaking the core of this relationship. So if this is for married Leos, if you're the feminine and you're married, we're talking about your masculine here, and there's something that in the near future is going to shake them from this stable connection that they have. And the shaking is coming in terms of either health or longevity, like legacy. So maybe they want to have a child. They're unclear about what they, about if they want to leave a legacy in terms of a child, or if they want to leave a legacy in terms of a creative project. But that's where the shakiness is coming from. There could be somebody who is talking with your masculine, who is questioning them, getting them to question this legacy, okay, or getting them to question their health, or even their health routine, what they've been doing for a very long time. So maybe they've been a long distance runner for a very long time, but now we're talking about, is this really good for your joints? It could be something very easy. It's not necessarily very simple. It doesn't always have to be a huge undertaking where somebody is coming in and trying to break up the marriage. That's not what I'm saying here. Now, if you are the masculine and you are married, this is, you have a really great marriage. That's what you're in. You might even recommit in the near future. There might be some sweet words that come out that with this recommitment ceremony, something like that comes out. But again, the snake being here in the middle, there's also some anxiety about it. There's something that comes up, and I'm feeling like it has something to do with health or legacy, even perhaps sensuality or sexuality. So maybe there's a sexual health issue that comes up, meaning maybe we're getting older, right? And we're not performing as we used to. Maybe there is an underlying issue that hasn't been discovered and might come up, right? Again, it could just be something very simple as maybe not long distance running anymore. Maybe it's about low impact elliptical machines. So, it's difficult to say. What I'm saying to you, you'll figure it out. Okay. So I'm giving a few examples, but you'll figure out how to plug in what works for you here. But there is some anxiety and some issue that's coming up, and it looks like it's going to have to do with health or legacy. And the child can be an actual child, but it can also be about something new coming. And it could be, again, perhaps this is about this new job, this of you. You starting to work for yourself. So that could be, maybe this is everything secure enough? Is my legacy secure enough so that I can take this leap and work for myself? So that could be what's going on. Now, if we're totally separate, right? Feminine Leos, if we're talking about your masculine who is in relationship, okay, you're looking back at this person. What I will say is that there's, again, those same questions are coming up. Just be careful that you're not trying to break up this marriage. There are more than enough people out there in the world that there's no need to break up anyone's marriage, in my opinion, no matter how connected you feel to that person. What I feel is that, we have the potential for being connected to each other in multiple types of ways. So it doesn't always have to be an intimate relationship. So if your person is in a really happy marriage and they're working through some things, just be careful that you don't take on this role of being the other woman, right? That's not, nobody feels good in that role, all right? Now, I don't feel like you will, because this is underlying energy. It's not that you're going to take it on or anything. I'm just saying that energy is nearby, okay? And it might have been that in the past you might have been an other woman, because this is an antiquity card, right? We talked about that revival. So in the past, you might have been this other woman. Letting this go, leaving this in the past and looking towards something in the future might be the best choice, okay? And for single masculines, this is looking like there's some love that is right here for you. And this commitment could just be you making a commitment saying, hey, let's move in together. Maybe it's an apartment building. Let's maybe be monogamous. So, this doesn't have to be marriage, this ring. It can be something that's a very small commitment as well. All right. But just know that what's coming up is that there's going to be just some questioning about health or family, longevity, legacy, perhaps sexual health. And we talked about this revival, this questioning of perhaps, and I'm just going to say perhaps of a reconciliation. There's a questioning of it now, because there's the clouds here. March is going to have Mercury retrograde, which means that not only is communication funky, but also that people are going to pop up out of nowhere. So you guys may not have even been in conversation, and all of a sudden you see each other again, okay? Am I seeing that this works out? No, that's not what I'm seeing at all. I'm just, there's no way of seeing it in this spread, but I'm just showing you different potentials. So I have no idea what I would name this video because there's so many possibilities. Just know that there's something that's coming up, and look at it straight for what it is. What was one of our cards? Sometimes the good is hidden. So look for what is hidden, and pull it out. Pull out the good, okay? Pull out the good of it. Look straight at what is being presented to you. Let's go to this final line. There's love coming in. I'm going to say it's for both. There's love coming in, and some knowledge is going to be received, and it's going to be we're going to be talking, okay? So if we are talking about a reconciliation, it's that conversation that's coming forward. There's going to be choices that are made. If this is not a reconciliation, if we're not talking about that, And it's so interesting because I don't see that often in these cards. But if we're talking about new love coming in, it's going to be you two talking about how how you truly feel about each other, which I like. Feminines, this might have just happened for you, okay? There will be choices, and what I'm feeling is that actually you're going to choose what feels best, what feels like a long-term connection, whatever feels like more like home, what feels more recognizable to you. And it's going to take you to a place where you're really doing things in a different way, in an ingenious way. This is our ingenuity card. So this might be a totally different type of relationship that you've ever had before, where maybe you talk about your feelings. Sometimes, all relationships are different, and it's interesting to see how they begin. Sometimes they begin in different ways, and that starts them off at being a totally different relationship than anything else. Really fascinating here. This relationship might bring you to that place of working for yourself, of going on this new journey on your own in work. It might be going on a journey, leaving this relationship behind. Maybe it's not working out for you. Wow, there's so many possibilities here. The cards are kind of all over. The story is all over. So Leo, you're going to have to tell me how this resonates for you and how this is working out. Right now I'm seeing cards of questionable reconciliation. I'm seeing, the masculine is in beautiful relationship, and then there is some kind of questioning that comes up in the middle here. I'm seeing a movement from working for another, where there was some tension, to working for oneself or getting a promotion that brings you to a more stable place. What else? Oh, let's do this for the 4 cards down here. There's success that comes in the truth being seen, right? The truth being seen in terms of written words, so texts, emails, even posts online. That's the success. That's the truth being seen. Extra success here when you see these 2 cards together, okay? And when you do it over and over again, in repetition. So if you need to state your truth over and over again, if you need to tell this person how you feel over and over again, that's where the success is going to come up. So again, let me just warn, if you're breaking up, you don't want to break up anyone's marriage. So, there's lots of moving parts when it comes to marriages that aren't happy. I'm not seeing that this is an unhappy relationship. There's not many cards beyond this, but I'm seeing love, I'm seeing commitment. So if they're the feminine and you're hung up on somebody who is with someone else, my advice would be to move forward from that, because it seems that this masculine is really in a committed place, even though he will come up to a questioning place in the near future. So that's not saying over and over again, I want to be with you, leave your wife, I want to be with you. That's not what I'm saying to do at all. What I'm saying is that this might be a journal. And this is you speaking your truth to yourself and not necessarily needing to speak it to anyone else. But the truth being, when you are coming from a place of truth and making that known, that is the next best step you can take. So if it is, I loved this person, but they're unavailable, I need to learn to love myself, then that's the truth. And then write it again in a different way and let it blossom in a different way. Leo, what a fascinating reading. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me pull this one back out. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. So when you are in alignment, get back into alignment with who you are and what is important to you and in your life. How it is that you want to be loved and treated, who that partnership would be with, like what that person looks like in your life. Get really clear on those things and then write that down and then write it down again, making those wishes known. I think the new moon is on the 8th of March, so do it before the 8th of March. Or do it at the next new moon. New moons are great for putting out new intentions. All right, Leo, that's what I have for you. Best wishes with this one. Woo! Woo! All right. So I will see you soon. And for now, I'm going to send you all of my love.